On this episode, I share with you some credit score myths about buying a home and what type of credit score you need to have. Welcome everyone to this episode of the Ask Jason Gelios Show. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time watching this show, I do this show every week and I put it on YouTube and social media, Facebook, and on my website, it's allabouttherealestate.com. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in here. So there is a very common myth or feeling or thought that you have to have perfect credit to purchase a home. And so I wanted to basically talk about this a little bit because a lot of first-time home buyers that I speak with aren't sure if they can buy. They come to me and they ask me, hey, you know, what type of score do I have to have? Do I have to have perfect credit? Do I have to have an 800 score or whatnot? And so I just want to share with you something. This is such a myth. And I put together a little scale here, which by the way, some of my information is off of National Association of Realtors. They provide me great information and research and studies, so it's based on fact. But let's go ahead and dive into this credit score guide, and then we'll talk about the home buying part. So, okay, if you have a credit score of 300 to about 579, your score is considered very poor. If you are at 580 to 669, it's fair credit, right? If you're at 670 to 739, then your credit's good, which is most people that I've seen at least, especially back in my mortgage days. 740 to 799 is very good. And then 800 to 850 is exceptional. So when I was writing mortgages, I see most people fall under the good credit, the 670 to 739. That's what I've seen out there. And so that's perfectly fine. That will get you a decent rate and some options. So I want to share with you another statistic here that only 25% of Americans have a score, a FICO score, between 740 and 800. Only 25%. That's not a lot, right? It's kind of staggering, actually. And about 24% of renters believe that they need a 780 to 800 credit score to get a home. There are a good amount of programs, and I always recommend that you actually have a lender, a qualified lender, look at your credit and look at your situation before you assume that you can't purchase a home. If you think, well, I need perfect credit, I don't think my credit's good, you know, I was late on a credit card last month or whatever, okay, well, don't just assume, right? When I was in mortgages, I would have many people feel that their credit wasn't going to be good enough, and then I got a lot of them approved for a home. So just know that these things can happen, all right? And you could potentially get into a home, provided that you do have the money to afford the home, right? So credit scores are just, they're scores. They can change often. They can fluctuate depending on what you're doing. If you pay something off, it'll affect your credit. You know, all these factors come into place. And so the biggest thing that I see is people, especially first-time buyers who don't know the process or aren't familiar with purchasing a home, they tend to think that they can't get one because of their score. And so I just share with you a little scale of where you would be at depending on where your score is. Now, everybody has 3 credit scores, so you want to basically add those up and then do the average, right? That's what lenders do. But with that said, that's a little bit about debunking the myth that you have to have perfect credit to purchase a home, because you don't. You don't have to have perfect credit to purchase a home as long as you can afford the home and you're paying things and all that. So I hope that helps. I get asked that question often. So, but that concludes this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My new book, Think Like a Realtor, a little guide about buying and selling residential real estate through the eyes of a realtor, is out. You can purchase it on Amazon. You can purchase it on my website. It's allabouttherealestate.com. Hope you guys get your copy, and be sure to leave a review when you're finished reading it. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in here. Subscribe, follow, like, share. Sign up for my free e-newsletter that goes out in your email box weekly. My name is Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor, and make it a great week.